And we are back in the WHHI-TV Daily News. Joining me now is State Senator Tom Davis. Thank you for being here today, as always.
Thanks for having me.
And as always, we have a lot to talk about today, but we're going to jump into something we've talked about for quite some time, and we'll probably continue to talk about for quite some time, and that is the widening of I-95, but we now have a contract for that. And then I also would like you to touch on, again, what we talk about a lot, but the 278 corridor, because I think you might have an update at least on getting some more information about moving forward on that as well.
Yeah, of course. And, roads and bridges takes up a lot of my time in representing the people of Beaufort and Jasper counties. The I-95 widening is 3 lanes in each direction, including a new bridge from Georgia to South Carolina, all the way from that bridge to exit 8. A contract has been let. Construction will begin next month. There'll be a groundbreaking for that. Work will proceed, hopefully mostly at night, a large part of it at night, and they'll try to minimize disruptions. But I think it's important for my constituents to also understand that we've also got funding in place from exit 8 further up 10 more miles toward Walterboro, and then again a third stage all the way to the Walterboro exits, again, 3 lanes in each direction. So the idea is once that first phase is done from the Georgia line to exit 8, you can roll right into the second and third steps. Now, the second and third steps are funded, but we don't have the right-of-way acquisitions, environmental mitigations, those things in place yet. But hopefully by the time the first stage is done, you can roll right into the second and third. Right. You mentioned the Hilton Head Bridge. I mean, that is on track. The SIB is going to meet on June 23rd to accept some amendments to the intergovernmental agreement that are associated with a $120 million grant. All indications are that the SIB will approve those amendments. And so what we'll be doing is a new 3-lane eastbound span from Moss Creek, traveling parallel to the existing bridges all the way across Pinckney and tying into Windmill Harbor. So that 3-lane span will be constructed over a period of 3 or 4 years. The existing eastbound span will remain in place until that new span has been completed. Right. So there won't be disruption in any traffic on and off the island during the construction. So that's all on track as well. So again, June 23rd is the meeting with the SIB, but all indications are they'll approve it.
Okay, well, that's good to know. It's nice to have a date when we might get some answers, so that's perfect. And I know another project that's kind of been near and dear to your heart, you've been instrumental in trying to get these nuclear plants restarted. Tell us where we stand with that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I mean, brief recap, about $9 billion was spent to build 2 nuclear reactors just north of Columbia, South Carolina, a joint venture between Santee Cooper and then SCE&G. They pulled the plug on that after spending $9 billion in July of 2017. I filed a joint resolution in 2018 requiring that those assets be kept in good condition on site in case economic conditions changed in the future, and they have changed. You now have large hyperscale users like Google and Meta and Amazon willing to use their own money to complete those 2 reactors. So, and what they will do is they'll purchase the asset from Santee Cooper because a large part of that $9 billion is already in ratepayers' base. If you can sell the asset and have the private sector complete it, you can take that sunk cost off of ratepayers' base and their bills will go down. And then you can have the private sector assume the risk for completing the construction of these 2 nuclear reactors, which will generate about 2,200 megawatts of carbon-free energy. So I'm very excited about that. The RFP process is going extraordinarily well. Santee Cooper is going to be in a position to announce 2 or 3 finalists in the next few weeks. And then we'll go to a finalist and make the award and we can proceed.
Excellent. Well, that's all really good news as well. And we've got just about a minute left, but I know you wanted also to touch on the pay raise that was defeated in the legislature. So talk to us about that.
Right. Well, actually, it was approved by the legislature. And Governor McMaster did not veto it and left it in the budget. Now, I voted against it in the Senate. I've also indicated that I'm not going to accept that pay increase. It's not a matter of it being excessive. It's a matter of process. We can't just tack on an amendment to the budget the last day of session for something like this. If you're going to increase pay, you ought to go through the regular process of subcommittee and committee hearings, and then it ought to be effective not during a current term of a legislator, but effective after the reelection. So I think that's the appropriate way of going about doing it. That's why I've voted against it in the budget and why I've made the election not to receive it when July 1 fiscal year starts.
Well, Senator Davis, always great to talk to you and always great information. Thank you for sharing all of that with us today. We really appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
And there's a lot more to come, so don't go away.